I was working in Cambridge and somebody come back from seeing a homeopath, told me that she was RSHom and how wonderful it was, and that the woman was doing a first aid course. So I thought, well, that sounds interesting, knowing nothing about it at all. But I was pregnant at the time, and that's 30 years ago. And my son was then my first guinea pig, so always the best guinea pigs. And I had 2 other guinea pigs thereafter. So I used it with children, knew that it was so effective for children, took that fear out of being a mother in the middle of the night prescriptions and all that. Yeah. So that was that, yes. And at the time I wanted to study, but because I had a child I couldn't go full-time to London. So it was only when we moved to Wales that I discovered that there were other colleges where you could go, newly opened, you could go part-time. And I did, and it was extremely wonderful. I've been in practice for over 20 years, I think, now. And I was very interested, because I had children, I think, to do children's work. And I think that was probably the basis, along with running evening courses, actually. Because at the beginning there would be about 30 people in the evening class, and they were supposed to be there for 10 weeks, and they would stay for 30 weeks, and then, you know, they were nearly fully qualified. But they came as patients, and that was the sort of foundation. And then I did a low-cost children's clinic with help from the Homeopathic Action Trust. And that meant that I had built up a lot of more experience with working with children, which was lovely. But I see all sorts of people. I've mainly worked from home, but I have worked in a couple of other clinics as well. It's usually easier to work at home for some reason. That's, yeah. After 20 years or so, I moved, and so that's been quite a challenge to start again and build up again. But always a challenge, yeah. Again, by accident, I started teaching anatomy and physiology, and was teaching at college, which was fun. And then I realised that it was the subject that people least enjoyed. And why was that? And I realised that really we had this very elegant model in homeopathy which was being thrown out with the bathwater by year 4. So I developed some courses so that we could integrate the homeopathic model with the medical science, which I think is very important, obviously. And I was actually actively teaching that for a while, and then I wrote it down in a big-headed moment, trying to get it published. And so that was where you stepped in. And it's been so wonderful because I now have access, or there's a network of people all over the world doing the courses, and it's so wonderful. In the morning I was saying to the students earlier, you turn on the computer and somebody in Iceland is in contact, and somebody in South Africa, and somebody in Swaziland, and maybe 3 people in America, and somebody in Japan, and we're all linked up with the course. And I'm very happy that they seem to have been quite successful in terms of keeping people employed, you know, and not complaining about their least favourite subject anymore. So. And teaching here is always nice to meet the students and chivvy them into doing their work if they need to do it. But just, yeah. I really enjoy just being part of the homeopathic community. Yeah. I think it's a wonderful system of medicine. One of the reasons I'm very happy to be involved in it is because I care enormously about the environment, and that we do no harm, we leave no footprint, but we hopefully can do some really good stuff which has no lingering bad effects. Yeah. It's hard work, it's jolly hard work, but it just takes you over, and I think I'm very, very grateful that that's what I do. I'm not an investment broker or something. Yes.